How 90% of millionaires think. Let's start. Most people think millionaires are born lucky. They think rich people come from rich families, or they get one big chance, or they win something. But here is the shocking truth. Almost 90% of millionaires today are self-made. They were not born rich. They did not start with money. Some even grew up poor. And here's the part that will shock you even more. Most of them think in a completely different way than normal people. Not a little different, not slightly different. Their mindset is the complete opposite. But the real mystery is this. How do they think? What goes on inside their mind? What secret thoughts do 90% of millionaires share that almost nobody else knows? Today you will discover three powerful truths. 1. The surprising mindset shift that almost every millionaire uses. 2. The hidden rule they follow that normal people never notice. 3. The most shocking habit that changes their life forever. These three revelations can change how you see money, success, and even yourself. This isn't a normal video. It's not slow. It's not boring. It's the secret thinking pattern behind wealth, told through real stories, simple ideas, and clear examples. So get ready, because once you understand how millionaires think, you will never look at your life the same way again. Let me show you exactly how this happened. Before we talk about the big millionaire mindset secrets, let's take a step back and look at something important. Where does mindset even come from? Think about two kids in school. One kid grows up hearing, "Be careful, don't risk anything, play it safe." The other kid grows up hearing, "You can try, you can build, you can create." These two children grow up with two very different worlds inside their heads. One sees danger, the other sees opportunity. Now here's the surprising part. Most millionaires come from the second world, even if their real life was full of problems. Many famous millionaires grew up poor, but someone, maybe a teacher, maybe a parent, maybe a book, planted a tiny seed in their mind. A seed that said, "You can do more, you can try, you can grow." This tiny seed becomes their mindset. Why does this matter today? Because the world is changing fast. Jobs are changing. Technology is changing. Money is changing. People who keep the old thinking, just work, wait, hope, end up stressed, tired, and stuck. But people with a millionaire mindset see new ideas, new chances, new doors. Let me give you a small surprise here. Mini surprise number 1. Most millionaires read more than they rest. Mini surprise number 2. Most millionaires started small, really small. Some began with $50, some with $10, some with nothing. Mini surprise number 3. Most millionaires failed at least 5 times before they succeeded once. Shocking, right? But this is where the story gets interesting. Because when you look closely at thousands of millionaires, you notice something. They may have different businesses, different jobs, different lives, but they share the same way of thinking. And that way of thinking leads them to the same place: wealth, freedom, and opportunity. Now that the stage is set, now here's where things get really interesting. Millionaires think in long-time mode. Here comes the first big wow moment. Most people think about the next week. Some think about the next month. Very few think about the next year. But millionaires, they think 5 years ahead, 10 years ahead, sometimes 20 years ahead. This is called long-time thinking, and it is one of the biggest secrets behind their success. Let me show you how big this mindset difference is. Imagine two people. Person A works for money. They think like this: how much will I get paid today? How much this month? How much this year? Person B, the millionaire thinker, says, "I will plant something today, so it gives me money every month for the next 10 years. One focuses on survival. One focuses on building. And here is a surprising number. 90% of self-made millionaires say their biggest growth came after 5 years of consistent work. Not 5 months, not 5 days, not after going viral once. 5 solid years. That is the millionaire difference. They don't ask, "How fast can I get rich?" They ask, "How can I build something that lasts?" There is a story of a man named David. He wanted to become rich. For years, he tried shortcuts, fast money tricks, quick wins. Every time he failed. Then one day he met a successful businessman who said, "If you think short, you will live short. If you think long, you will grow long." David changed his mindset that day. He started thinking like a builder. He worked on one project for 6 years. Year 1, no progress. Year 2, small progress. Year 3, almost quit. Year 4, tiny success. Year 5, big success. Year 6, millionaire. Most people quit in year 2 or year 3. Millionaires keep going until the results appear. Visual story. Think of a tree. When you plant a seed, nothing happens at first. But underground, the roots are growing. Millionaires focus on the roots, not the surface. They focus on the work nobody sees, so later they can enjoy the results everyone sees. But if you think that's crazy, wait until you hear this. Millionaires don't think more money, they think more value. This is the section where engagement peaks, because this truth surprises almost everyone. Most people think, if I want more money, I should work more hours. But millionaires think, if I want more money, I should create more value. Let me explain with a simple story. There were 2 barbers in a small town. Barber 1 cut hair for $8. He worked all day, every day. He got tired, angry, stressed, but he never grew. Barber 2 cut hair for $20. Why? Because he gave more value. He offered good service, clean tools, a relaxing space, and friendly talk. Same work, different value. And because he gave more value, people paid him more. Here's the insider secret. Money chases value. Value chases skills. Skills chase learning. That's the millionaire chain. While normal people say, I need more money, millionaires say, I need better skills. A study showed that 85% of millionaires spend at least 5 hours a week learning something new. They learn business, they learn technology, they learn investment, they learn communication, because every new skill creates new value, brings new money. Alex was a normal office worker. She made $1,200 a month. Then she learned one new skill, graphic design. Her value increased. Soon she earned $3,000 a month, then $7,000, then $12,000. Same person, same brain, new skill, new value, new income. This is why millionaires never say, I can't. They say, I can learn. And here's the real twist. Millionaires don't compare themselves with others. They compare themselves with who they were yesterday. They ask, am I growing? Am I improving? Am I adding more value? But all of this leads to something even bigger, a truth so surprising that even many successful people don't know it. This brings us to the most shocking discovery of all. Millionaires think like owners, not victims. This is the revelation that changes everything. It is the mental shift that separates the rich from the poor, the successful from the stuck, the creators from the complainers. Millionaires think like owners. Most people think like victims. This is not about blame, it's about mindset. Let me paint the picture. Normal thinking, my boss doesn't pay enough. My city has no opportunities. I don't have time. I don't have money. It's not my fault. Millionaire thinking, I control my time. I create my chances. I build my path. My future is my responsibility. The owner mindset says, I will figure it out. The victim mindset says, I can't do anything. Let me tell you a true story from a millionaire interview. A man named John grew up poor. He had no father, a sick mother, and worked from age 14. Every reason to quit, every reason to blame the world. But he said something powerful. I cannot control where I start, but I can control where I end. This is owner thinking. The owner mindset gives you power, it gives you energy, it gives you creativity, it gives you confidence. But here's the most shocking part. 90% of millionaires say the moment they change their mindset from victim to owner, their entire life changed within 12 months. Why so fast? Because when you stop blaming and start building, you unlock a different version of yourself. Your brain stops saying, I can't, and starts saying, how can I? This one question opens thousands of doors. Small ideas become big ideas. Small actions become big results. And this mindset connects all the earlier revelations. Long-time thinking, owner mindset, learning new skills, owner mindset, creating value, owner mindset. But now that you know how millionaires think, the real question is, this is where everything becomes meaningful for you. Why does the millionaire mindset matter now? Because the world around us is changing fast. Old ways don't work anymore. Today, people who think slow get left behind fast. But people who think like millionaires, long-term, value-based, owner mindset, find opportunities everywhere. Here's what this means for your life. Your future is not fixed. It does not matter where you start. It matters where you aim. Millionaire thinking shows you that growth is possible. Change is possible. A new life is possible. Skills are money now. You don't need a rich family. You don't need luck. You don't need permission. You need learning. You need effort. You need mindset. Your daily habits matter. Remember the beginning of this video? We said 90% of millionaires are self-made. This is how 90% of millionaires think. And now you can think like them too.